Okay, another LeetCode problem. 20 valid parentheses. It's an easy one. The description says given a string is containing just characters of open and ending brackets, determine if the input string is valid. And yeah, an input string is going to be valid only if open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets, and open brackets must be closed in correct order. Okay, which actually means that uh, the opening bracket, the type of it should be closed by the same type, and it should be in order. Like these examples gives that those are closed in order and it doesn't close in order, and also this one close in order. Okay, so if we look into the constraints, they said there should be at least one character and not more than 10 to the power 4, and only 6 characters, those are brackets. So we don't need to add any checker that if the character is valid brackets or not. And how many company asks it? Many companies ask this question. And before jumping to the solution, let's think of how many things there could be. There is already example that this one and the invalid one. This one is also invalid. Okay, another thing could be like the ending character, the ending brackets is at the beginning. Okay, if I want to solve this, I can just use an array to solve this one. My approach would be to add the opening brackets into the array first and check that if the last one have the ending bracket and the type is matching. So okay, let's simplify the first one. Add all the opening brackets into the array. I'm just going to loop over through the string is all the opening brackets and if it's the opening bracket, I'm going to continue or move into the next character. And let's say that if it's a second one, it's the closing one, then what should be? Actually it would be better if we can take this one like take the last element of the array. We'll take the last element of the array, and the last element of the array will be also removed, and we can check if p is the first bracket, the opening one, and the current string, the current character is the ending one, and the same type, then we can continue or say that it's safe. Let's do the same for the second parenthesis and for the third bracket also. Okay, so far it's going to check for if there is any opening bracket in the current string. It's going to add it into the array. Let's think for this string. It's going to add this one, and into the second step of the loop it's going to get the ending one, and it can match that. Okay, we have the same type of opening and ending, and the opening and the closing, so it's going to just go to the next one. And here we can see that we have already removed the last element and not adding the closing element. So it's going to be done, and one thing we can see that if that doesn't match, it's not going through anything. So at the end there would be length of 1, the array length will be 1, and here you can see that array length is going to be 0 as it's popped and it's not been added to the array. So we can do one thing. If we check the length, then we'll be clear that if it's valid, it's going to be 0 length, and if it's not valid, it's going to have some length. Okay, before that, let's go into another part, the ending one. If we think of this case, what's going to happen, the program is going to be here, and the current one is this, so it doesn't match to this if condition, and it's going to pop the last element. Actually we don't have any, so we can just add a condition here that if the length of array is 0, but we are still getting the ending brackets, then we can just return false. And also if the type doesn't match, we can also add return type false, because if it's safe, it's going to just continue. Okay, and most of the case it would be just working fine, but let's say we have another case here. The last one is opening bracket, and in our program it will just continue and won't return false. So what we can do is, at the end of the for loop, we can just add that if the length of array is more than 0, which means 1, or another word, if it's not equal to 0, it will be false, or it's not going to be valid. Okay, so actually it covers all the thing. Let's run this one. Okay, let's check this thing. First one is actually going to be I'm just going to check the cases that why it should be. Okay, let's just submit this form and let's see if it got final approval or not.